So, hi everybody. Just real quick. So, this weekend I had to break out a phrase it's a variation on a phrase, and it's called. Well, here's my version of this phrase. When somebody's punching themselves in the face, go stand in your corner and wait till they remember who they're supposed to be fighting. Just let them punch themselves in the face. Just a thought. Play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight.
And stop the music. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, me, yours truly, Marty, aka Dawg Knight. And I'm just curious, did everyone have a good weekend? You know what? We broke down and did some gardening. We had a lot of weeding to do because when we went on vacation, we had to, we were gone for 2 weeks early in the summer, right? So when we got back, we have a really nice flower garden in front of our house, and we had to do a bunch of weeding. So I got a bunch of weeding done, and there were a couple of plants that we killed off because we're not professional gardeners. So we replaced some plants and did that. And then also I tried to, we have a pool because the house we came with a pool. I didn't want a house with a pool, but I kind of enjoy it. But we hadn't opened it yet because we were gone most of the beginning of summer. So we finally said, okay, we're going to open the pool. And got the cover off and cleaned off the pool deck and got all this stuff done. And went to go start to fix my filter and realized that the guys who put the siding on our house broke some of the plumbing to our pool. So that was a bummer. So I have to fix that. But also, I spent a little time checking out things on Twitter this weekend, and oh boy. Well, let's see. Let me find what I'm talking about because it's just a lot easier that way. So I'm going to go on to Twitter here and go into my own little profile and just hit the tweets and replies. So, as you know, the Four Horsemen or the Squad or whatever they call themselves, and the freshman Democrat ladies, led by AOC, and I know they don't like to hear this, but they're led around by the nose by AOC. She decided to make some innuendos and made it sound like, that the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, was picking on the four freshman women of color in Congress, making it sound like that Nancy Pelosi was a racist. So this blew up a little bit, and there's some infighting back and forth, and I'm like, okay, this would be a good time to just let them duke it out. And then the president decided that. Well, first he decided, well, yes, he's, he feels bad because, the Nancy Pelosi being treated like she's a racist, and, he made some conciliatory statement, but then he pulls out his iPhone. And, so the president pulls out his iPhone, and he lays down probably, like I said, when people are punching themselves in the face in your fight, go stand in your corner and let them beat the hell out of him. No, he had to come up with this tweet. Now, this is one of those things where I go, President Trump, just put the iPhone away. So interesting to see progressive Democrat congresswomen who originally came from countries whose government are a complete and total catastrophe? Oh, dude, come on. Now you know Talib or Rashid and Presley and AOC were all born in the United States. So, in a way, you're talking about your own country, but I digress. I know he intentionally probably meant Ilhan Omar, who came from Somalia. The worst, most corrupt and inept anywhere in the world, if they even have a functioning government, now loudly and viciously telling people the United States, the greatest and most powerful nation on earth, how our government is to be run. Why don't they go back and help fix the totally broken, crime-infested places from which they came, then come back and show us how it is done? These places need your help badly. You can't leave fast enough. I'm sure that Nancy Pelosi will be very happy to quickly work out free travel arrangements. Oh, so, okay. Now, the go back to where you came from thing just it does not sit well with people. Also, now, if you'd have said, you can't even fix things in your district, you can't even pass a bill, you don't have a solution for the things that you're complaining about, none of you are actually proposing anything, that would have made sense. But no, this comes off, and I hate to say it, but it comes off as extremely racist. Even if it wasn't intended to be, it comes off as extremely racist when you say shit like this. But that's okay, because you know what? So I'm going to start calling him President iPhone, and I'm starting to call AOC Representative Clapback. They should go fix their districts. They could go open a book and learn about how shit works. Go write a bill if you got something to say, and see if it passes through your House of Congress first. But hey, okay. So now Donald Trump's over in the fight, punching himself in the face. And then somebody named Karen Attiah. Now, Karen Attiah, global opinions editor from the Washington Post, Ghanaian, Nigerian, American, aspiring martial artist, from the Washington Post, says, tweets, while Donald Trump's over punching himself in the face, this woman tweets, make no mistake, Nancy Pelosi's dog-whistling snipes at AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and Representative Presley have helped pave the way for this vicious racist attack from the president. Oh, punch yourself in the face, too! Good God, does anyone know how to just leave their phone in their pocket? So now she's put it back on Pelosi. So it's like, you know what? My advice to these people. See how quickly we've moved from two powerful white women, Maureen Dowd and Speaker Pelosi, helping each other attack women of color over a nice box of chocolates, to the president telling them to leave the country. Yeah, I don't know that this was, you know what? It's hilarious. Girl, bye. Those four wrote checks that their behinds can cash. Trump is responsible for his racism, just like the squad is responsible for their reckless mouths and bigoted actions on primary congressional black caucus members. Now everyone's punching themselves in the face, and I don't know who has the better right or left. So here's my 2 cents. How is it that nobody can just shut up and take a win? Everybody's determined to one-up the last one's stupidity. Oh, can we please get these... Now, Sweet Meteor of Death, that's who I voted for in the 2016 presidential election. Please, Sweet Meteor of Death, come save us all. And then we get this, I don't know if you know Syra Rowe, but she's just she's just, I don't know if she's a troll or if she's just a walking quote farm, because you could just go down her Twitter feed and you just slap yourself on the head every time. She tweets, I'm going to unfollow anyone who posts anything positive about Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi is a white feminist. White feminists are white supremacists. If you idolize Nancy Pelosi, you might as well declare allegiance to David Duke. Oh my. Oh fucking my. Oh my God. I don't even know where to start with that one. But here it is. President Ifield gave y'all a gift. Representative Clackback had just given him a gift. Does anybody stop and think before they hit that send button anymore? Lesson, kids. Always delete the first thing you tap out. Rethink it, and then write something better. I do that all the time, man. I go start replying to some people's tweets, and I'm like, I'll write out a whole tweet and I'll read it. I'll go, let me think about this. Does this work? And 9 times out of 10, I delete it and just don't write anything. And then that 10th time, I delete it and I rewrite it anyway, just to make sure that I'm not looking like a dumbass. I really try to do that. Honestly, I do. It's just amazing how I don't get it. Twitter's made everyone nuts. It has made everyone completely freaking nuts. I almost at the point where I can't do it no more. I do. I gotta stay on Twitter. I try to have reasonable conversations with people, and some people are pretty good about that. And I try to avoid people who cannot have a reasonable conversation, who can't disagree with you and still be all cool in the end. Let's go have a beer. I just don't know. I don't get it. The people are nuts. People are knucking futs. It's insanity. Now, let's get oh, by the way, I got to say hello to everybody. How y'all doing today? First of all, Necrosaw Collins is first. He gets the bell. Ooh, my bell. Oh, there's a cord stuck in my bell. Here, let me give you a good bell. Thank you for being here, sir. Also, good morning to Citron. Citron, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad you're here. Hello, Maddie, my friend. I got, let's see who else is here. Check your logic. Duck Dog. Maniac Man. Did I say hi to Sarah? No, I did. Hi, Sarah. I know a couple more people showed up. Gorilla Pirate Pete. Max Del Rio. Richo. Hey, Richo, I haven't seen you in a while, too. I know you've been on, you had a different schedule, so I know sometimes you have to listen in strange places. But anyway, Smarty Bear, MCO, Hammer Time. And, wow, Pincalo's here. I just haven't been paying attention to the chat. A whole bunch of people here. Jason Burns, how you doing? Hello, everybody. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to the Morning Light Live. Ooh, my head itches. But I do got my cup of reparations coffee in hand. And it is delicious. Okay. The title of my stream today is, what is it called? What was my title? The title of my stream is Statistically Lying. Now, the reason I call it that, a lot of people have been talking about ever since Andy Ngo, the guy in Portland, got attacked, the journalist / he kind of hangs out with the Patriot Prayer guys. I got to be honest. I mean, he's on the right, but he's a journalist. He works for Quillette. He's done stuff in the Wall Street Journal, whatever that word is, and some other publications. He's a freelance journalist. He sells this stuff to wherever he can sell it. And excuse me. So the big thing about everyone's talking about Antifa. And I have people who like to argue about, Antifa stands for anti-fascist, so you know that they're good people because they are anti-fascist. And my argument is always, well, then why do they have to go beat people in the street if they're good people? Why are they always attacking people? And it's like, well, right-wing violence is way more prevalent than left-wing violence. Well, I don't know, because all I see is Antifa going around beating people in the streets since 2015, since the election cycle. And then what happened is then there's these groups that decided, you know what? They're tired of seeing people beating the streets, so they started arming themselves and started fighting back with Antifa. And then every time there's a free speech rally or something, the Antifa shows up. Now, granted, the one time where anyway, the word, I'm not going to go into that. But so everyone's talking about everyone being fascist, fascists and Nazis and fascists and punching Nazi and there's a fascist. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, who exactly are all these fascists that you're talking about? And I guess that's the question I got to ask, because I want people to be specific about who the fascists are. Because it seems as though the anti-fascists tend to have fascist tendencies. They say they're fighting fascists, but they use fascistic tactics. And one guy on there saying, "Oh, well, look up the definition. The definition hasn't changed." So I looked up the definition of fascist: FASCSCISM. Oops, I didn't do that right. I meant fascism. There we go. So now when I do it on DuckDuck, oh, dang it. I spelled it wrong. SCISM. So the first result I get when I do it on DuckDuckGo, fascism is a form of radical authoritarianism, ultranationalism, characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression of and control of industry and commerce, which came in prominence in 20th century Europe. First fascist movements emerged in Italy during World War I, blah, blah, blah. Merriam-Webster, let's see, fascism, Merriam-Webster, political philosophy, movement, or regime, such as that of fascisti, that exalts nation and often race above the individual, that stands for centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic social regimentation, forcible suppression of opposition. Now, so I look at different groups that they call fascists, and I look at these definitions. These are a couple different definitions. One's from Wikipedia, one's from I don't know, whatever this is, Merriam-Webster. And so I always, they call fascist anyone they think that's far right wing or whatever. Whereas I always think, if you're talking about suppression of forcible oppression of opposition, well, that fits. That fits Antifa. That's kind of the tactic, is you're forcibly suppress people. And I don't think anyone who the free speech, they're always fighting against the free speech people. Patriot Prayer. Patriot Prayer is, first of all, I laugh because Patriot Prayer is a multicultural group out in Portland. So I'm not, people are talking about them being racist, fascist, Nazis. Well, they're multicultural. Their big thing is talking about freedom of speech, loving the country, and things like that. So in Portland, the Antifa is always fighting against Patriot Prayer, and or the Proud Boys. I mean, the Proud Boys, their leader is a black man, even though it was, started by Gavin McGinnis, a couple other people. Their leader is a black man. He's their, so it's not about, theirs is not about race, but then they are, they as far as I've understood, now I got to do a little more research on it, but as far as I know, they're totally pro-American. Okay. Now, but I don't know, as far as interested in a centralized autocratic government. So anyway, that's the argument. And then they talk about they're always talking about racist, fascists, and Nazis. Okay, so a lot of times when you get in these arguments, you start talking about things and who's violent, and when as soon as you start mentioning the fact that the Antifa mass people, the black bloc types, are violent, and they have been attacking people in the streets and whatever all over the country. Okay, as soon as you bring that up, someone says, well, the right wing extremists are the ones who are murdering everybody. In fact, in 2018, all of all the extremist murders were by right wingers. And I'm like, where did you get that idea? And they always link you to a very specific study, one done by the ADL that generated a whole bunch of headlines. And in fact, let's see, right-wing extremist murders. So you get a headline from Share Blue. Every extremist murder in 2018 was linked to right-wing terrorists. Now that's an interesting headline. And so as I'll pull this article up, we'll look at that, and then we're going to go look at where they got this idea from. And Share Blue obviously is a very left-wing oriented. And so they put a picture of Donald Trump on their cover because Share Blue, they hate Donald Trump. Every extremist murder in 2018 was linked to right-wing terrorism. That's a very fascinating way to put it, considering the study that the ADL does, and we'll get that in a second. So let's read this article. Right-wing extremists killed more people in the U.S. last year than in any year since 1995. More people. Okay, we're going to just remember these statements. According to an alarming new report from the Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism, the annual report found that at least 50 people were killed by an extremist in 2018, marking a 35% increase from 2017. Okay, first of all, just a quick aside. Let's look at how we're going to look up something. Murders, United States, 2018. All right, so here we go. Now this has, oh my goodness, this has 30 pages. I want to know. Now, let's see. Let's look this up. How many murders? How many murders the United States in 2018? Here we go. Murders in the United States. Okay, that's 2017. Well, let's look at 2017. I want the whole United States. I mean, there was 1,830 in California alone, 1,412 in Texas. Let's see. So this is. So I mean, we're looking at. Hang on. I want the totals. This just goes state by state. I mean, we're looking at least 7,000 or 8,000. Give me an FBI. Let's go. Let's do it by FBI because this is important. FBI. Here, FBI crime statistics 2018. Here we go. Let's try this. Here we go. Preliminary crime statistics released. Nope, that's first half of last year. Let's go. Let's see. Do they have 2018 complete? Doesn't even look like they have them yet. Let's see. So they only have from January to June. I don't think they put out last year's yet. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Crime in the U.S. 2018. Let's go through this. I know this may be kind of boring, but it's important to me. Crime in the United States. Yeah, see, they still had a preliminary semi-annual, so they don't have it yet. Yeah, they only have January through June. Violent crime category, including Merc Raider Revised Edition. Well, I'll be danged. All I want to know is how many. Anyway, we're talking. So they're talking about going up 35% in this article. From 50 up from 35 the year before. All 50 murders were okay. So here's the thing. So when someone says, okay, right-wing extremists killed more people in the U.S. last year than since any year in 1975. Trump is dismantling our ability to deal with the threat. Remember, we have 330 million people in the United States. And so is this something that they're trying to make you fear? I'm not fearful. Let's put it that way. Good morning, Johnny Hellcat. I just saw you pop in. Good to see you. And then the breathless, all 50 murders were committed by people with ties to at least one right-wing extremist movement, making right-wing extremists responsible for more killings in 2018 than any year since 1995, since when Timothy McVeigh bombed the federal building in Oklahoma City. So when someone tells me, when this headline is, every extremist murder in 2018 was linked to right-wing terrorism, I would expect that every incident that they're going to cite in this study is either a terrorist act or an ideologically driven killing. Am I the only one who thinks that when you read a headline like this? Right-wing extremists killed more people in the U.S. last year than any year since 1995. Okay, their number is 50. Right-wing extremists killed 50 people in 2018 is what they're saying. And these were, you would expect these to be ideologically driven right-wing extremist attacks. Does that sound right? That's where I go when I hear that. All right. Currently, there are more than a dozen active right-wing extremist movements in the U.S. that engage in violence, including white supremacists, anti-government sovereign citizens. That's the one that I laugh at anyway. And malicious and anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant extremists. In 2018, first says up here, every extremist murder in 2018 was linked to right-wing terrorism. Now, this is in the Share Blue article. Down here, in 2018, the vast majority of extremist killings were carried out by white supremacists, and guns were involved in... Oh, I see. Guns were involved in 40... But included amongst the incidents was the October mass moving at Tree of Life. Another incident, a white supremacist with ties to Christian identity movement allegedly set his African-American roommate on fire at a Veterans Affairs home in Tennessee. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Because this is a fascinating study. Let's go. I want to go into the study though. Let's go into the ADL's version first because that Share Blue was going to do it the way they want. So here's the executive study from the ADL. Each year, ADL's Center on Extremism tracks murders perpetrated by all types of extremists. Now, again, I'm trying to think of how many incidents. It's like 18 incidents, 50 people were killed. Just keep that in mind. Keep it in mind. The 2018 Murder Extremism Report provides key insights into the crimes, including motivations behind these attacks. Wait a minute. Shouldn't the motivations, if you're talking about extremist murders, shouldn't the motivation have to have something to do with the extremism? That's immediately what I assume when I see this. 2018 was a particularly active year for right-wing extremist murders. Every single extremist killing from Pittsburgh to Parkland had a link to right-wing extremism. Every right-wing extremist murder, again, you expect all of these incidents to have an ideological motivation behind the killing. And then said had a link to right-wing extremism. So let's just skip all of this bullshit and get right into the actual incidents. And we're going to look at these. We're going to look at a whole bunch of these. And I'm going to look them up from both their description and we're going to look them up online. We'll find an article about these things. All right, the first one. Tallahassee, Florida, November 2nd, 2018. Scott Paul Byerly. Now, I don't know why they didn't do these in chronological order. Maybe they did them backwards. Oh, they did do them backwards chronologically. Scott Paul Byerly opened fire at a yoga studio, killing 2 people and wounding 4 others by gunfire and a 5th by pistol whipping before killing himself. Byerly had posted videos to social media containing racist and misogynist commentary, expressing hostility towards women who engaged in interracial relationships, and referring admiringly to misogynistic killer Elliot Rogers. Okay, what was the? Does anyone know the motivation behind this murder? We're gonna go. Let's look at. Let's see. Now this is the one they said he's part of an incel movement, which I don't even know what fucking incel movement is. I know it's involuntary celibates, but it doesn't make any sense. But is there any, okay, he was a U.S. Army veteran, high school English teacher. I was trying to figure out, let's see, self-proclaimed misogynist who ranted about women he went to high school with, as well as immigrants and mixed-race couples. Had some videos on his, he apparently had a YouTube channel. Let's see. He was arrested in 2016 and 2012 for grabbing women's rear ends. Okay, so this guy's a dickhead. I'm still trying to figure out what the right-wing extremist motivation behind these murders were. Let's see. There were 11 people signed up for the studio's 5:30 p.m. class. The instructor of the class was unharmed in the shooting. A woman who was eating at a nearby restaurant told the Tallahassee Democrat, "We heard pop, pop, pop. It sounded intense. Gunshot 6 or 7 times. Saw 5 different ambulances picking people up. It's scary. It's so close to home." Okay. Let's see. Just trying to find if there's a motivation here. I'm not seeing it. But apparently, I thought at some point that there was a beef between him and somebody in the yoga studio. And I don't even know what it is. But excuse me? What was the right-wing extremist motivation behind his act? We don't know. Okay, so there's one. Now, next one. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, October 27, 2018. White supremacist Robert Bauer murdered 11 people and injured 7 more, including 4 police officers during services at the Tree of Life Synagogue. Bowers was a virulent anti-Semite who, among other things, blamed Jews for orchestrating the immigration of non-whites to the United States. This is a extremist killing. There's extremist motivation behind it. Okay, so there's 11. Okay, that's so we're 1 for 2 so far where we know the motivation behind the killing. Third one, Renton, Washington, September 19th, 2018. White supremacist Jeremy Shaw, who owned a small roofing business called Aryan Enterprises, was arrested along with his wife Lorena in connection with an alleged plot to murder Stephen Morphus and steal his property through an adverse possession scheme. Morphus was beaten with a blunt instrument. His throat was slashed. Detectives who searched Jeremy Shaw's home found a number of Nazi and white supremacist themed items. He was charged with homicide, burglary, and arson. How is this an extremist killing? He killed somebody to steal his property. This is a property crime. This has nothing to do with his ideology. Anybody? Okay. So we're for 1 for 3. And actually, well, I should go, 11, the numbers. Anyway. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. White supremacist Joe Rocco was charged with homicide after stabbing an African-American man to death outside a bar. After he and a friend were denied entry, Rocco allegedly made an Instagram video earlier that day discussing how he and his friends were going to bars to see how many times they could repeat the N-word before being kicked out. Okay. Could be could be an extremist killing. Or he said something and and there was we don't know if this fight. Let's see if there's any let's find an article on this one. That one can easily be considered an extremist killing. It could be an ideological killing. Let's see. Racist stabbing, Pittsburgh. That's Very Smart Brothers. I'm not going to use Very Smart Brothers. All right, here we go. This is, let me find Post-Gazette. Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Father of man stabbed to death at North Shore. Suspect has, I don't care if that's great that she could forgive somebody for that. I don't know how you do that. Here, let's go back. Let's find a better article here. Here we go. Anyway, okay, so Jordan Rock, a self-professed white supremacist accused of killing Delaine Cameron outside of a row of popular bars in the North Shore 2 Sundays ago. Let's say this is one. So we'll say 2 and 2. All right, we'll say it's even. No one knows the motivation, but it seems as though that very well could be an extremist incident. Let's say he was going out to kill a black man that day. Okay, next one. Sumter, South Carolina, August 11, 2018. Demetrius Alexander Brown, a self-proclaimed Moorish sovereign citizen. Black man. Moorish sovereign citizens are black men who are part of that sovereign citizen nonsense. I'm not sure how they had to wrap themselves in knots to call this a right-wing extremist, because whenever you hear the word right-wing extremist, you immediately think white supremacists, some racial movement. Was arrested for the fatal shooting of Charmaine Pack following a dispute about a vehicle sale at an auto repair shop. Okay, where is the ideological motivation behind this shooting? They got in a fight over a vehicle sale at an auto repair shop. 2 for 5. Or 3 for 5. We've got 2 ones that yes and 3 no. Robstown, Texas, July 27th, 2018. Richard Starry shot and killed 4 relatives. What? Richard Starry shot and killed 4 relatives at a local nursing center at his home in an apparent act of domestic violence before killing himself. According to local media, Starry had been a member of a white supremacist group while in prison. Wait a minute. He was part of a white supremacist group while in prison, but he shot. This is domestic violence. This is not an ideological killing. 2 for 4. 2 for. So we're 2 for 6 now. Shawnee, Kansas, July 16, 2018. Ron Lee Kidwell, a tattooed white supremacist. Ooh, he's tattooed. Ooh. A tattooed white supremacist who liked to take photographs of himself wrapped in the Confederate flag was arrested for the murder of an African-American woman, Michonne Cooper, who was stabbed to death. One neighbor claimed to reporters that Kidwell, who had a prior history of assaults, targeted victims based on race, pretending to be friendly, then attacking them. Kidwell allegedly told police that he killed Cooper because she had ostensibly threatened to tell others he was HIV positive. Huh. That could go either way. Maybe it's ideologically motivated, or perhaps, I don't know, man. Perhaps he got in an argument because she was gonna divulge his secret that he was HIV positive. That's in the I don't know category. Camden, Michigan, June 30th, 2018. Anti-government extremist. Oh, they got to make some colorful descriptions. Anti-government extremist Joshua Daniel Miller was arrested for the shooting death of Eddie Coleman Heathcote. Miller allegedly got into an argument with his ex-wife at the home she shared with Heathcote. Miller was involved with the militia and 3%er groups. Ideological killing? No. So far, they've got 2 for 8, maybe 3. That has nothing to do with right-wing ideology. He got in an argument with his ex-wife she shared with another person and killed the other person. What does his ideology have to do with that? Not. Dothan, Alabama, June 4th, 2018. James Mathis, a member of the Georgia-based white supremacist prison gang. A lot of these guys are from prison gangs. Because in prison, you know what? Sometimes in prison, I hear, never been to prison, never will go to prison. But I hear that sometimes you have to just join one of the gangs so you don't get your ass kicked by the other guys. So anyway, member of the Georgia-based white supremacist prison gang Ghostface Gangsters and his wife, Amanda Oakes, allegedly killed their 6-month-old son and put his body in a freezer in a hotel room. Couple fled to Florida where they were arrested following a carjacking attempt. How is killing your own kid a white right-wing extremist killing? I'm going to get to that. All of these. So right now, 2 for 9 with 1 questionable. Athens, Georgia, May 11th, 2018. Following a family argument, Malaki Kadir Dorns stabbed his mother and older brother multiple times, wounding his mother and killing his brother. In an early arrest, Dorns told police he was a sovereign citizen. Right-wing extremist murder. Not 2 for 10 with 1 possible. Oh, this guy's a brother too. I had already looked this one up. Malaki Kadir Dorns. He's a brother. Aberdeen, Virginia, May 4th, 2018. Roger Melvin Tackett was charged with first-degree murder and other crimes after fatally shooting an acquaintance following a dispute. According to police, Tackett has multiple white supremacist tattoos. This is almost comical. Fatally shooting an acquaintance following dispute. Let's look this one up. Let's see if we can find an article on this one because I want to find out more. Roger Melvin Tackett. According to police, Tackett has multiple white supremacist tattoos. Killed his friend, acquaintance, following a dispute. Let's look up this dude. Let's see. Facing first. Here we go. Facing first-degree murder, 3 other felony charges, Tackett arraigned receives a court-appointed counsel. Roger Melvin Tackett, charged in a fatal shooting Friday, rarely looked up and barely spoke during Monday's 5-minute video arraignment. Tackett, 44, received a court-appointed counsel, Heather Howard, after he completed paperwork claiming to be indigent. Wearing an orange jumpsuit, he mostly looked down at the table as the 4 felony charges against him were read. Clintwood resident is charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of Bruce Douglas Ferguson. He also charged with aggravated malicious wounding and use of firearms in the commission of a felony and being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm. Authorities reported Friday to a residence on Lime Hill Road where they found Ferguson, 46, had been shot. He died late Friday afternoon. A murder warrant for Tackett was issued. Tackett just walked into the residence that belonged to an acquaintance of Tackett and Ferguson. He walked in and shot him, Ferguson, 3 times and walked out the door. Sheriff Fred Newman said in an email response. Questioned about the shooting, multiple agency manhunt ensued. Saturday night, authorities responding to the telephone tip found Tackett inside a home on Morning Glory Lane in Clinchburg section of the county. The home belonged to an acquaintance of Tackett's, according to Deputy Darrell Dickinson. Washington County Sheriff Office, SRT team, and criminal investigation deputies negotiated with Tackett for an hour, asking him to surrender and come out of the house. When Tackett finally came out of the house, he was holding a knife. The SRT team was able to utilize a taser and take Tackett into custody, according to Dixon. Anyone see the right-wing extremist motivation of this murder? We are 2 for 11. Nashville, Tennessee, April 22nd, 2018. Travis Reinking opened fire inside of a Waffle House, killing 4 people and wounding and injuring 4 more. Reports from co-workers and police officers who had previously known or encountered Reinking stated that he was a sovereign citizen. Another one of those. However, Reinking also had a serious history of mental illness, and the shooting appears to have been non-ideological in nature. He has been ruled incompetent to stand trial. 2 for 12. Murfreesboro, Tennessee, March 17, 2018. White supremacist John Daniel Carruthers was charged with first-degree murder, 8 counts of reckless endangerment, 1 count of aggravated arson, after he allegedly set fire to his African-American roommate at a veteran's home. Carruthers allegedly confessed to the crime in a letter to a white supremacist group. We'll give him that one. So we're now 3 for 13. Palm Beach Garden, Florida, March 12, 2018. Corey Johnson, 17, killed a 13-year-old and severely injured 2 others in a stabbing spree during a sleepover. Oh my God, that's just that's hard. That's tough to even read. 1 victim was stabbed 32 times but survived. Johnson was charged as an adult with first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder. He had a long history of violent tendencies and extremist beliefs, including an interest in white supremacy. However, in the year before the attack, he had become interested in radical Islam and had even been reported to the FBI by local law enforcement. After his arrest, Johnson reportedly told investigators he had stabbed his victims because of his Muslim faith. Three for 14. I'm talking incidents, not numbers killed. Locust Grove, Georgia, February 19, 2018. Tierra Guthrie, a Moorish sovereign citizen, he's a black man, whenever I hear right wing, remember, whenever you hear white wing extremists or these guys are always talking about white supremacy, blah, 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 blah. This is a black man who's one of those black sovereign citizen types. Shot and killed a Locust Grove police officer when the officer and 2 Henry County Sheriff's deputies tried to take Guthrie into custody for failure to appear for a warrant. Both deputies were wounded but survived. Guthrie, who was himself shot 4 times in the firefight, died at the scene. Three for 15. Parkland, Florida, February 14th, 2018. Nicholas Cruz launched a deadly shooting spree at his former high school, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, killing 17 people, wounding 17 more. According to CNN, Cruz, 19, belonged to a racist Instagram group and hated blacks and Jews, even claiming Jews wanted to destroy the world. Cruz also allegedly referred to women who engaged in interracial relationships as traitors. A South Florida Sun-Sentinel article reported that Cruz had racist and Nazi symbols on his backpack and that he had etched swastikas into ammunition magazines left behind at the school after the shooting. However, little evidence has so far emerged to suggest that the MSDHS shooting spree itself was conducted as a white supremacist attack. I'm going to put that in that questionable category because they awful. Another one of those things, man. It stresses me out even reading about kids getting killed. But they included this in the right-wing extremists. So it's up in those 3 plus 2 that are questionable. Orange County, California, January 2nd, 2018. White supremacist Samuel Woodward, a member of the neo-Nazi group Atomwaffen, was arrested for the stabbing death of Blaze Bernstein, a former high school acquaintance. Woodward allegedly stabbed Bernstein 20 times in the face and neck before burying him in a shallow grave. Woodward was charged with first-degree murder with hate crime enhancement. Bernstein was Jewish and gay. I'm just going to give them that out of the blue. I'd be interested. I've never looked at the trial. So right now, they've got, let's see, 10, 11. So out of 17 incidents, 4 can be 4 can be ideologically driven events out of the 16. Now, here's what they do. So these are the events. Now, let me explain to you how they end up calling these. They don't call these hate crimes. Notice they don't use the word hate crimes. And actually they never say that these are right-wing extremist violence. Here's their weasel word. 2018 extremist related murders. So as extremist related murders. What'd I do there? Hang on. Let's get back into the main page here, because listen to this executive summary again. Oh wait, hang on. Do we have to read the executive summary? Now, and it's weasel words left and right. It's amazing. Among the report's key finding, every year adherents of a variety of extreme causes kill people in the United States. Notice what they're not saying. Adherents to a variety of extreme causes kill people in the United States. Not because of their causes. So here's the problem. Oh, hang on. Let me finish this. 2018. domestic extremists killed at least 50 people in the U.S., a sharp increase from the 37 extremist-related murders documented in 2017, though still lower than the totals for 2015 and 2016. So the totals for 2000. Now listen, the whole premise here too. Here's what they've been trying to. They're trying to give you this idea that in the Trump era, there's more violence. There's more people being killed for right-wing extremists. Wait a minute. The totals for 2015, 70, and 2016, 72. Hang on, I gotta put you on pause here for a second. I've got someone banging on my door, and I think I need to answer it. Hang on. And I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. Yes, I did leave you unsupervised. I'm not paying attention. Also, you know what I haven't checked? By the way, if you're enjoying what we do, please make sure you hit the share button and like button and all that stuff that you do. And also, if you want to support the stream any other monetary way, please feel free to do super chats through the link down below via Streamlabs, and we do donations through that too. So thanks. That's my shill for the day. All right, let's get back to this. Here, I'll put this on the page. The extremist-related murders. Yeah, so, the whole thing is, things are getting more dangerous and people are getting more killed during the Trump era. Well, let's see. 2015 had more extremist-related murders. 2016 had more extremist-related murders. 70 in 2015. 72 in 2016. Can't remember who was president then, but anyway. And then in 2017, it was 37. 2018, it was 50. Of course, 37, if you take 4 of the... Let's see, 4 of the 17 incidents were actually ideologically motivated murders. I have some questions still. Deadly shooting sprees were a major factor in the high toll. 5 of the 17 incidents involved shooting sprees that caused 38 deaths and injured 33 people. The perpetrator of one of 2018's deadly shooting sprees at a yoga studio in Tallahassee was connected to the misogynist incel manosphere movement. Is there an incel manosphere movement? I mean, I heard of the term incels all the time. Is it actually a movement? I mean, I know there's probably some freaking incel thing on Reddit or something, but an incel manosphere movement, it just sounds like some, like a YouTuber wrote this shit. In the wake of this attack, a similarly motivated killing spree in Toronto, Canada, ADL's COE now track such incidents as extremist-related killings. But are incels necessarily right-wing? I don't know. Linked based on Elliot Rogers' students. Firearm remains a weapon of choice for extremists. Blah blah blah. All right. So okay. Now murders extreme in the United States. I want to find this line because they tell this line. Let's see. Oh, and the other part, yeah, as it was a percentage of homicides in the United States. Is it even 1%? I mean, I know there's more than... we were looking at roughly 3,000. Anyway, let's see. Get off my screen. So from pipe bomb posts to violent clashes and demonstrations, the violent clashes and demonstrations. Now this is fascinating because, okay, so from pipe bomb plots to violent clashes and demonstrations, extremists found a range of ways to make their presence felt across the United States in 2018, but none so shocking as murder. At American high schools, synagogues, and on our streets, violent extremists killed children and adults alike, leaving communities and the country itself reeling. Yeah, in one of the cases, it had nothing to do with their ideology. They killed their own kid. Killed family members. These weren't ideologically related killings at all. The preliminary tally by the COE shows that domestic extremists took the lives of at least 50 people in 2018, a sharp increase from the 37 people killed by extremists in 2017. In fact, 2018, the fourth deadliest year since 1970, behind only 1995. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait, what? The fact that the fourth deadliest year since 1970, behind only 1995, which saw 184 lives lost mostly because of the Oklahoma City bombing, and 2016, 72 lives lost and 70 lives lost. Now that's fascinating. Apparently, September 11th, 2001 was somehow not an extremist killing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Look at this. 5 most deadly years for domestic extremists. Excuse me. That's why. They're talking about domestic extremists. The Fort Hood, they got Fort Hood on here. Pittsburgh Synagogue, San Bernardino, Chattanooga, Charleston shootings. Orlando nightclub. Yeah, 2016. That was the Orlando nightclub shooting. It's interesting that they made him a domestic extremist, even though he was domestic extremist, but had some ties to ISIS. Huh. Extremist-related killings are few when compared to the total number of homicides in the U.S. each year. Yeah, because you're talking about 3,000 to 5,000 homicides every year in the United States. Something like that. Nevertheless, such killings, especially when they are conducted as hate crimes or terrorist attacks, can send shock waves through entire communities and beyond. Interesting, because right now, of the four of the 17 incidents you talk about are neither. They are neither hate crimes or terrorist attacks. Completely different motivations. When white supremacist Robert Bowers entered the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh in October to launch a killing spree against Jews attending services, taking 11 lives and wounding 7 more, his senseless hate-fueled violence directly impacted not just the victim families, friends, and neighbors, but all residents of Pittsburgh and the communities nationwide around the world. Yeah, because it's a man bites dog moment that you go, gosh, that sounds terrible, but you know what? It's funny because it's still, if you think about, if they want you to be afraid, you're still talking about an incident. The incident gets played all over the news, and yet in a country of 350 million people, or 320 million people, or whatever we're at right now, it's tragic, but it's not common. It's man bites dog. Moreover, the deaths described here merely represent a tip of the pyramid of extremist violence and crime in the United States. Really? For each person killed by an extremist, many more wounded or injured, attempted murders and assaults. Here's my question, though. So they've got this list of 17 incidents that they count 50 deaths through extremist violence. I got a quick question here. How many? I wish how many murders. I want to know how many murders there are. Let me figure this out. I got to figure this out. How many murders were there in the United States in 2018? I just want a quick answer. Number of murders of homicide. Number of murders. U.S. homicide rate. I want just one number. Here's not by state. I want total. Well, let's just add up 2017 just to get this out. So 1,800, and that makes it 32, 4,000, 5,000. Add another 2,100, so that's 7,100 plus 1,600, so that's and then 71, 8,700. I mean, we're looking at about 10,000, at least 10,000 murders in the United States in 2017. So in that year, 37 of 10,000 homicides in the United States. 27,000? So they say 37 of those were extremists. And I don't even know how they got the numbers for 2017. How do they know it's only that many? How do they know that the way they do it, if you murder something that you're even somehow adjacently, it has no motivation, but you have this ideology in your head. So, and they say they only know of these 17 incidents where the ideology was related, not even the cause of the crime, but the relation to the crime. How do you know that there aren't, out of 10,000, let's say the number's 10,000. Have you gone and looked at all 10,000 murders and gone into their social media profile and gone into their everything they've written and know that they're not part of some ideology? Are you telling me that not one left-wing activist murdered anybody in 2018 or 2018, for example, when this year they're using? Are you telling me that not one person who has left-wing extremist ideology killed anybody out of the 10,000 homicides? That you only came up with the 17? How do you know it's only 17 that are, and these aren't even 17 that were the ideology that drove the crime? We got 4 out of 17 in this particular study, this crap study that, here's the reason they have this headline, because the ADL needs to have a reason to exist. And I don't knock the ADL completely. They have a function in society, but this is one of those things where, we talked about the SPLC several months ago because they were having problems, and insiders from the SPLC were saying that really their real function was fundraising, and in order to be able to fundraise, you got to have some really you have to have some spectacular reasons to fundraise. You got to be able to write headlines that everyone's talking about, and then everyone talks about that headline, and then they give you money to keep doing your work. This is ADL. This is a case where they couldn't come up with, they came up with 50 murders, but 17 incidents, because they had to pad the 4 that they could come up with, so that they could make headlines like all extremist murders in the United States was by right wing, and even in their summary it says they're not all right wing. It's it's a narrative. It's a narrative that that they have to keep up because they fundraise off of these types of things. It's insanity. Sorry, chat, I haven't been paying attention at all. Because I'm on a roll right now. 17,000. Yeah, 17,000 murders. Thanks, Sarah, for looking that up. I couldn't. I just didn't have time. And then, let's see. In terms of lethal violence, 2018 was dominated by right-wing extremism. I thought every one of the 50 murders documented was committed by a person or persons with ties to right-wing extremism. Now, remember, one of those, the kid who stabbed a bunch of people to death, he had converted to Islam, blamed Islam on the incidents. Oh, but wait, before he converted to Islam, he had some right-wing thoughts. So they called it... Now, again, here's their weasel language. Every one of the 50 murders documented by the COE was committed by a person or persons with ties to right-wing extremism. Although one incident, the perpetrator had switched from white supremacist to radical Islamist beliefs prior to committing the murder. And in fact, now, but wait a minute. Hold on a second. But then again, so this says every one of the 50 murders was committed by a person or persons with ties to right-wing extremism. Then the next paragraph, in fact, 2018 saw the highest percentage, 98% of right-wing extremist-related killings since 72. How can every one of the 50 murders documented only be 98%? They contradict themselves in their own report. Every one of 50 murders documented by the COE, highest 98%. Wouldn't that be 100%? When all I see. Saw the highest percentage, 98%, since 2012. The last year when all document killings were by right-wing extremists. Yeah, do we know that all the extremist killings? Well, some of these were just domestic violence, but he had ties to right-wing extremism. The year's high death toll is due in large part to the number of shooting sprees by extremists. In 2017, only one extremist-related shooting spree occurred. In 2018, there were 5 shooting sprees, collectively responsible for 38 deaths and 33 non-fatal casualties. I'm still... Where's this line, though? I can't remember what... Okay, let's go back. Notes on methodology and sources. This is the good one. ADL-COE has compiled a list of more than 1,000 known murders, killers perpetrated since 1970, essentially the post-civil rights era, by people associated with domestic extremist movements. These are primarily murders committed by American extremists on U.S. soil, though a few cases involve American extremists murdering other Americans abroad, such as Jonestown and Guyana, are included. Now notice, they're very careful to keep this as domestic extremists because then you don't have to include any other type of extremists. But anyway, because extremist connections to some murders can take months or years to be revealed, statistics for most recent years will inevitably be revised upward in future years. Or maybe downward. For example, the COE's report on extremist-related murders in 2017 counted 34 murders, but within a year, the COE had uncovered 3 more extremist-related 2017 murders and had revised its numbers accordingly. Oh! Again, not extremist-motivated murders, extremist-related murders. I wonder how many of these are actually ideological driven events. The incidents are derived primarily from public sources, leading to some limitations regarding a cross-era or cross-movement comparisons. Regarding cross-era comparisons, it's generally more difficult to find more information on extremist-related killings from the 70s and 80s. Oh, because, yeah, you mean the 70s and 80s when all the left-wing extremist movements were killing people, pipe bombs and shit. You know, like, what's that, Elizabeth Dorn and the professor from the University of Chicago. Anyway. So it may not be meaningful to compare figures from earlier eras with figures from the 1990s or later. The main limitation of cross-movement comparisons is that the extremist connections to killings are easier to determine for some movements than for others. For example, white supremacists, who often display many racist and white supremacist tattoos, or who may have been documented to be as white supremacists by gang investigators or correction officials, are often more easily identifiable. In contrast, it may be more difficult for police or media to identify as suspects anti-government extremist associations. Oh, like the three black men you had in here who were Moorish sovereign citizens. The issue comes up more with non-ideological. This issue comes up more with non-ideological killings. It is likely that non-ideological murders committed by extremists other than white supremacists are underrepresented in the ideology. So if you took this data, and I made this point on Twitter this morning when someone else brought this stupid ass study up. So let's use this type of association and talk about murders in the largest cities in the United States. So using this same methodology, I very easily could say that the overwhelming majority of murders in our large cities in the United States are Democratic, as in Democratic Party related murders. Because in our large cities, most of the killings happen in areas where Democrats are dominant. So a vast majority of the murders in the large cities of the United States are Democratic Party related murders. Is that logical? It sounds logical to me. Just say it. Just put that out there. Non-ideological killings then have nothing to do with the person's extremism, right? So it's not an extremist killing. So you could take out of the 17,000 murders, if you went in and you'd have to go in and interview every single person who committed one of those murders, or at least get a detailed background of every single person. I'll bet you anywhere that there's as many left-wing people who are part of left-wing extremist movements or whatever. If you have an idea, come and talk to me with every actual ideological killing, okay? In addition, because murders behind bars, they've included, in one of the years, I know I was reading one of these portions of another year, they included a murder in prison. Now this time, this one didn't. In addition, because murders behind bars tend to often attract little or no media attention and are typically not publicized by prison officials, incidents of prison-based deadly violence committed by adherents of all extremist movements are underrepresented. So if the brothers in the Disciples gang in this prison kills a brother from the white supremacist gang, not the brother, but whatever, the white supremacist gang in this prison, do they consider that an extremist related murder? It's craziness. I think you got my point. Hopefully, I would love to make a video about this. I probably could cut this whole stream up and make a video about it, but my video time has not been that great lately. My stream looks pretty good today, doesn't it? I don't know what I did differently, but it seems to be working. Things are going. I really don't have time to do headlines and Twitter trends. So let's just take a quick look at what's trending on Twitter. See if we're going to find out what people are going to be talking about today. And after that, I got to get out of here because I went way long on that today. Yeah, President iPhone. I wonder if President iPhone or Representative Clapback are trending anywhere on Twitter today. I bet you they are. Let's look at Twitter trends. Let's click this real quick. Oh, yep, racist president. That's number 4. That's President iPhone. They're go after him today. But number 1 on Twitter trends today is Monday motivations. Let me give you one quick Monday motivation because I need to get motivated after all that bullshit. The persistent Scott. I sit strategically at Starbucks with my sign facing the front door so everyone has to see me. Whenever someone comes to talk to me, I always ask, "Are you registered to vote?" I'm gay. Trump 2020. Democrats don't own me. Huh. That was not what I was expecting. But hey. Oh, I see. This guy sits in Starbucks with that sign. Trump cut taxes for 80% of Americans. Okay, this guy's a Trump guy. Okay. All right, that's not my motive. Wait, what? What's this? Here, Democrats choose criminal illegal aliens over Americans. Ooh. This guy's got 300,000 followers. I don't know who Scott Presler is, but damn, dude. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see. To build a strong team, you must see someone else's strength as a compliment to your weakness and not a threat to your position or authority. That's a great Monday motivation. That's a good thought of the day. I'm going to leave that as my top motivation today. Number 2 is Prime Day Amazon. Oh my God. People are worried about their wallets on Prime Amazon Day. Yeah, because you've spent a lot of damn dough. I haven't even looked to see what my Prime Amazon thing is today. I got to check it out. People are worried for their pockets. Oh, man. We fully endorse and support Amazon workers striking against awful working conditions today. Boycott exploitative. You know what? I have some friends who work at the 2 Amazon hubs here in the Twins, or near my house. I shouldn't say in the Twin Cities. There's a couple more. They love working there. They awful working conditions. I don't know what all their facilities are pretty brand new. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go check out what's my. I'll have to go check out what's on my Prime Amazon today because I am a Prime Amazon member. I'll have to check that out. Sweet Pea, number 3. Pernell Whitaker, boxing legend. Pernell, Sweet Pea. Oh, no. He died in a crash. Pernell Whitaker was a great fighter, man. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, considered one of the greatest lightweight boxers of all time, died Sunday after he was hit by a vehicle in Virginia, police said. He was 55 years old. Legendary boxer. Oh, my gosh. He won an Olympic gold medal, world champion in 4 different weight classes. He was a beast of a fighter. Here's his tale of tape. He was 44-1, world champion, 4 weight divisions, 1989 Ring Fighter of the Year, 1984 Olympic gold medalist, member of the Boxing Hall of Fame, longest unified lightweight champion of all time, one of the best defensive fighters of all time. He was a masterful fighter. That's some sad news. It's always sad when people, he and I are the same age. So when he was in the Olympics, I was, I think he was 18 or something like that. So, no, it was 84 Olympics. I was 18, 20 years old. He was a great fighter, and it's tough seeing someone that you grew up watching just be gone all of a sudden. So sad news. Rest in peace, Sweet Pea. Pernell Whitaker. Number 4, trending racist president. Okay, yeah. Just his comments over the weekend got a lot of people going. Oh, geez. I don't think Trump is a racist. See, I knew you were a good guy. Welcome aboard because he lacks the necessary emotional and cognitive development to stop virtually. You know what? Y'all can check that one out yourself. I will not defend that tweet. That was the dumb tweet, especially when people are punching themselves in the face. Let them punch themselves in the face. Don't even get involved because you might end up punching yourself in the face. Although they're still after Pelosi, so I don't know, man. Oh God, racist president. There's no way Donald's gonna survive this. Oh God. Anyway, it's that was a dumb tweet. I'm just gonna say it right now. Yeah, it was stupid. Number 5, rest in peace, Bianca. Oh, this is trending. This YouTuber got murdered. Oh, it's not a good day, man. Bianca was 17. Show some respect and stop posting pictures of her. Oh, God. So somebody murdered her and people are posting her pictures. No. And in fact, here's a couple tweets about that. She was 17. Show some respect and stop posting pictures of her murderer. Her murderer took. It's disgusting. He wasn't her boyfriend. He wasn't her friend. He was obsessed. She deserved a full and happy life and it was taken away. Please be respectful. Damn Skippy. Straight up. Undoomed. If you're trying to gain followers by enticing people with a picture of a girl's murder, you're a disgusting low-life scumbag. Only the actual murderer is lower than you. Kindly remove yourself from the gene pool. Rest in peace, Bianca. So anyway, this she was online a lot, and some guy stalker ended up meeting with her and murdered her. No, not boys will. Oh my God. You know what? You got to be careful. My online presence, obviously, I am the easiest person on the planet to find because I have a weird name and whatnot. Even with my Dawg Knight moniker, people know who I am. I got to be careful with people you meet. You can't be 100% trustful. You got to protect yourself. Man, it's just sad, man. It's this dude obsessed with her and it ended up killing her. Terrible tragedy. Real quick, let's get into a couple more before I gotta go. Lindsey Graham's trending. Oh God, people are pissed at him. Why? Lindsey Graham tells Trump to focus on policy, no personal attacks after tweets targeting Democrats. You know what? Damn right. Stop focusing on attacks. Stay with policy. Because, God damn. My President iPhone, he went full jackass with that tweet, and he's got to focus because the only reason I agree with the man on mostly policy wise, but that damn phone's got to someone throw his phone in the bathtub or something because he's got to stop tweeting. I mean, at least attacking other people. Now he does a tweet also to bypass the media. I like that. I like that he's unconventional. But if you're gonna just God damn. Anyway, why else is he? Trump defends. Oh, great. Daily Caller. Lindsey Graham defends Trump, calls Ocasio-Cortez and company a bunch of communists. Oh boy. Everyone's they're gonna be talking about him and the president all day because Lindsey Graham. A lot of people hate Lindsey Graham because he's all of a sudden Mr. Trump's right hand man in the Senate. Hey, whatever, Lindsey, more power to you. I don't care if that's what your thing. That's your thing. And I'm glad you said something about the personal attack. Stop the personal attacks because you just make yourself look. Sometimes you make yourself look like a dummy. All right, moving on. Let's see. Alan Turing, father of computer science. They put Alan Turing on the 50-pound note in Great Britain. He's the father of computer science. This guy, Alan Turing, is the new face. Interesting guy. Bank of England announced that mathematician and computer scientist Alan Turing, who is well known for cracking the Enigma code during the Second World War, will be the new face of the 50-pound note. Couple other things about him. He was, I don't know if the word persecuted. He was persecuted because he was gay. Let's see here. One of these will probably say it. Helped crack after the war. He was prosecuted for homosexuality when homosexuality was outlawed in Great Britain. So terrible story, but you know what? He's also an important historical figure in Great Britain, and now they're putting him on the 50-pound note. So that's pretty cool. Good for him. Bob Bowlesley, don't know. Robbie Gould, 49ers and Robbie Gould reached an agreement to a long-term contract. Big 12 now. What? Now, me being a Big 12 guy, because I grew up there, Big 12 digital arrangement with ESPN will be branded Big 12 now. Okay, they cut a deal with the Big 12 to new streaming site. Okay, for Big 12 sports. Okay, big deal. If you're in the Big 12, I grew up in the it wasn't the Big 12, it was the Big 8. Well, oh no, I grew up, with Nebraska when they were in the Big 8 and Nebraska football, and then they moved to the Big 10. And I'm like, what the hell? But so I still enjoy Big 12 sports. Texas and Kansas basketball and things like that. But my heart's kind of still in Nebraska, even though they're in the Big 10. Nebraska will never do well in the Big 10. I just don't think they ever will. Although they have a good football coach now, Scott Frost. Anyway, all right, enough of the Big 12. Let's get through this as quick as we can here. I think Lindsey Graham and, of course, Donald Trump is always the one who gets talked about the most. Monday mood? Nope. Monday thoughts? Nope. Blackout BTS. Uh-oh. What is this? We do this cute shit. Blackout BTS. What does that mean? Oh. BTS is that K-pop group, right? Oh, I see what they're doing. See, now K-pop is so popular, and I don't know how. But K-pop is so popular, they're doing little, like, black people doing poses like BTS people. Oh my God. Are we really doing this? Oh, good Lord. Let me just click away right now. No, I don't need any more K-pop. Silence equals compliance. Oh, God. Here we go. This has got to be about Trump. Guaranteed it. The media shouldn't try that line unless you condemn Trump. You're a racist. They're pushing this at the same time that Ilhan Omar is pushing anti-Semitism. They're ripping into Trump and ignoring Omar. Is that silence equals compliance? Yeah. Oh, God. Hey, America, the members of the GOP who have said absolutely nothing to rebuke Trump's racist comments should speak volumes at this point. They are cowards. Silence endorses this racist in chief to continue his prejudice and bigoted antics. You know what? It's a dumbass thing to say. I'm sorry. It just was. It's dumb. Dumbass say, put your phone down, Mr. President. Put your phone down. Just put it down for a while. Got to start thinking before you tweet, because even if you didn't mean it that way or whatever, that's the way it came off. Sorry. Think before you tweet. I'm going to do a hashtag. And that's all it's going to be. Think before you tweet. Never been used. That's all it's going to be. Y'all, if you follow me on Twitter, which is right here, I got to go anyway. If you follow me on Twitter, which is right down here, at Dawg Knight, retweet Think Before You Tweet. Tweet! Come on! Let's go. Okay, there you go. All right, last three. ADE, something happened to do with Apple. And If I Were Invisible. All right, this is the last one, and then we're going to get out of here, because we are going to check out the last of the trending on Twitter today is If I Were. I know BTS is a K-pop band. I said that. Oh, I forgot. You know what? I always forget that there's a little bit of delay between me talking and you getting it. So I get you probably didn't hear me say that already. Anyway, if I were invisible. If I were invisible. If I were visible, people would be tripping. Oh, I'd be messing with people all the time. I would just be tapping people on the shoulder left and right. If I were invisible, I would pretend to be a ghost and go around scaring people. If I were invisible, I could casually walk into Area 51 while everyone else is trying to storm the place. Who has the cloak of invisibility? You know, this thing about Area 51 cracks me up. I wish that hashtag over the weekend I hear was hilarious, and I never even looked at it. 500,000 people pledged to storm Area 51 to see them aliens. You know what? If this happens, if that actually happens, it'll be amazing. Although I'm afraid that some people are going to get killed because the last person who tried to get into Area 51 got shot to death. Oh, and I didn't even talk today about that asshole who tried to firebomb one of the ice places and got killed. Funny thing about that, though, at least the one thing I saw, it said, the article about it, man killed attempting to firebomb ice, something like that. Man killed. Not left-wing extremist, not Antifa person, not anything. Man. Now, you know damn well, if it were somebody right-wing, it'd be white right-wing extremist attacks, undocumented, asylum seekers or something. But no, it's man killed in attempt to firebomb ICE, facility, whatever. If I were invisible, whoa, did you just feel that? If I were invisible, I'd retire. Oh, hell yeah. You just pick up change anywhere. I would, what I would do if I were invisible? I'd go just steal take all the pennies out of the well, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't steal anything. I don't know what the word is. I get a guilty conscience if I drink the last of the orange juice or something, I don't know. If I were invisible, I'd cause so much trouble. All right, enough of that. You all can think about something if you're invisible. Thank you, Maddie, for supporting my hashtag, think before you tweet. Please, everyone retweet my tweet and retweet. Don't like it, retweet it. And that could be, honestly, that could be geared towards anybody, honestly. So, hey guys, I gotta get out of here. Thank you so much for being here today. As always, it's a lot of fun. I wish I could spend more time, but I got things to do, and it's time. I'm already 15 minutes past what I normally do. So, we're here every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT for the Morning Night Live. And Wednesday, I'm going to have another Jussie update. Thursday, we're going to have some FTG going on. So if you have any FTG nominees, please put them in my DMs or in my email, which is pdogknight@gmail.com. Friday, I'm going to have a guest this week if I can get my shit together here with this, make sure all my streaming stuff works. I'm going to be adding some RAM to this computer. Hopefully that'll fix a lot of the problems that I have. But until then, thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already done it, like, subscribe, ring the bell, hit the share button. And if you'd like to make donations or do super chats in future episodes, we do that through Streamlabs, which is always in the description down below. And Sarah is always also so kind to put that in the chat so often. So thank you all for being here. I gotta go. My name is Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and I want to thank you for joining me today on the Dawg Knight channel. Before you go, if you like what you saw and you're not already subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 2 p.m. GMT. A special thanks to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through our Streamlabs link in the description below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.